Today is another exciting episode we have with Professor of Psychiatry, Dr. Agnes Bueno. In other words, you can call her AKA Dr. Wow, Woman of the World, Woman of Wisdom. And rightly so, because the last episode we had, we were sort of like treading on materialism and meeting your higher self, 'di ba? So you said casually that from our last episode, parang nasabi mo that, before meeting your higher self, you understood what materialism is first. Tama ba pagkaintindi ko or what? Ganun bang nangyari mong
Yes,
journey?
parang ano yan, parang hagdan. You have to go step by step higher, di ba? Hindi
Yeah.
naman pwedeng ma-accelerate kasi parang jarring na yon, di ba? Parang medyo nag-flip ka na. Hindi naman graceful or gracious, it's still part of growth, part of your developmental pacing. Hindi naman pwedeng, hindi ba? Hindi ka naman pwedeng agad maging santo kasi that's quite an achievement. Those matters cannot be given to you. You have to achieve it. So hindi naman pwedeng i-ordain ka na lang basta-basta. You have to, pass through certain things.
And
Kaya
I think I understand
yeah.
that as you grow older kasi parang yun yung process mo eh. In a side note, like for example, no, I was speaking to my mother and then she said na yung parang her hearing, she's about 77 years old, sabi niya parang yung hearing niya is not as clear, no? Sabi kong ganyan. Tapos naisip ko in a way, parang pabiro, sinabi kong ganyan. Baka sabi ko, okay na yan kasi maybe sometimes hindi mo na kailangan marinig kasi kasi hindi importante. 'Di ba?
Oh,
Siguro
oh, para,
'di ba, it's a natural process that maybe as you go into your sunset years, there's things that you don't really have to worry
bother
or
about.
bother or listen or take to heart, which makes sense because your
Yes.
senses, aside from what you have, some of them will dwindle down, but your sense of yourself, your purpose, or your consciousness or unconsciousness, you've met your higher self. So hindi ka you'll be para kang para kang you're rooted in a cornerstone because
Mm-hmm.
of the experiences that brought you there, right?
Pero alam mo
Oo.
yung mga sorcerers,
Oo,
they
oo.
get more sharp as they grow older. Di ba parang nakakatakot talaga yun?
Yeah. So,
Have you read Don Juan, The Lessons of Don Juan?
of course, the impossible dream.
Yun si Carlos Castañeda.
Siya ba yun? Tama ba yun?
Si Carlos Castañeda,
Yeah.
ang kanyang apprentice. Ang galing talaga noon. Yun ang Biblia
Wait,
ko eh.
correct me if I'm wrong. So Don Juan is I can
Don
only,
Juan, Don Juan was a sorcerer. Nag-apprentice yung author ng books. It's a series of books by Carlos Castañeda.
hindi ito yung ano, no, yung The Impossible Dream with may
Iba
apprentice.
naman yan.
Okay.
Si,
So,
sino na nga ba yun?
yeah,
Impossible Dream.
the,
Si,
Spa- the Spa- it's a
it
Spanish.
escapes me.
The
And
great thing
anyway,
about this is
Don Quixote naman
Don-
yon. Don Quixote
okay.
naman siya.
Thanks for correcting me. Okay, sige,
Oo.
tell us about Don Juan.
Well, it's so hard to transcribe it. Reading Castañeda is like an experience itself. Ang ganda. I think you should try to look for one kasi ang
Ano
dami niyan eh.
ano bang journey?
Madami. Kung minsan nilalagay nila sa section ng occult, which surprised me kasi I don't think it's occult or it's cultish or something like that. Ay, ang galing talaga, grabe.
So ang
Kaya nga
sinasabi parang yung yung kanyang apprentice as
naging
he
sorcerer din si Castañeda.
okay.
Oh, it's
Fiction ba
really
to? Fiction?
No, it's written by Castañeda himself and narrating his experiences with Don Juan. Ay, ang ganda
Okay.
talaga.
Okay, let
You
me
know,
let
try to
I
look for,
I
maski
will,
isa
I
lang.
will. I'm sure may reading material yan sa ano sa online.
So baka yun ang iniibig mong sabihin, no? Yung higher self na yan. Eh ibang ano yan eh, parang it's a parallel universe of some sort, but it can be taught, it can be learned, you know. It's really wow, na wow talaga yun. Ang ganda.
You I seem to understand that you have to go through the eye of the needle or the needle, no? To to
Oo.
to get to
To,
a peaceful
to
place.
connect certain
Oh,
things or to, it's ang I am lacking in words to describe it because it's an experience by and of itself. It's not just reading.
wow.
You Yes, that was recommended to be my by my Jewish psychoanalyst to read, and I fell in love with Don Juan. Ang galing
Wow.
talaga, grabe.
Eh, last
So
week, di ba,
yun ang
pinag-uusapan
talagang
natin.
achievement of the highest degree, to be a sorcerer. So pag may makarinig na naman itong sinasabi ko na hindi talaga knowledgeable about what I'm talking about at superficial lang yung alam niya tungkol dyan, sasabihin na naman, naku, itong si doktora, ano na yata to, may pagkabruhan na yata. But
Why?
to me, that is the highest achievement in the self, to become a sorcerer. Yung totoong sorcerer, hindi yung mga kung ano-ano ditong ewan, no? Hindi ganun. Iba yun eh. It's a knowledge by and of itself.
Yeah, because
Na,
kasi ang sorcery
na you
kasi
don't even want to recommend it to people who won't understand it. Parang in that way, medyo madamot ako eh. Kasi mahirap na i-recommenda yon sa taong hindi talaga sophisticated enough to get it. Parang secret knowledge na yan eh, na na
ay
ipapasok.
well, in that case, kailangan kong mag-run Samson run.
Ayan, kaya pala sabi ko, teka muna, hindi Ran Delilah Ran. Panahon namin yan.
Sorry, I had to insert that because I know that we had given you yung wrong information about the song, no? We were talking about the Run Delilah Run, yung pala
Kasi
ang
yun na hindi ba, madalas mo sabihin. Pero it's somewhere in my subconscious or unconscious mind. I knew what you were referring to, but yung memories talaga kasi, ang dami kasing memories, di ba? So, one time, biglang umano sa mind ko, teka muna, hindi Ran Delilah yun eh. Parang Ran something.
hindi kasi si Samson kaya siya nagra-run kasi nga temptation si Delilah. Hindi ba?
Delilah
Yeah.
was somewhat of a traitor, di ba?
Yeah,
Kawawa naman si
that's why
Samson.
run, sabi nung kanta, run Samson run for your life. You yung,
Yes.
yung sabi
Yes.
natin, run Delilah.
Oh. So parang I don't know kung ano nangyari sa memories natin, no? Kasi ang tagal na noon, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung sabi doon na, in the Bible,
Yeah. Oh.
1,000 years BC.
So ayun
Kaya
na.
nung,
O ano?
ha?
Kung ano?
Ano?
You were saying?
Ano nga ba sinasabi? I was humming the song.
Yes, yes,
I was
yes.
humming the song of Neil Sedaka.
Sadaka, yeah. So, ang tanong natin ngayon, um, wait a minute, ha? So, yes. So, yung kanyang, yan yung pinag-usapan natin yung run, Samson run. And then going back to our topic about meeting the higher self, what are the hurdles? Like stages ba ng ano yan, ng human mind or mental state? Is it more biological or
Kasi
is it
hindi
more?
ba, no, it's really developmental, di ba? Kaya yung mga tao wala man lang, people who have not experienced the pangs of pains of life will never really achieve that eh. Kasi they have not really, they have not been hit by things that they have had to test their mettle. You test your strength and capabilities kasi through hard obstacles, right? And if you go past those, then you build yourself up to be strong, right? Hindi ka basta-basta na-break. It doesn't break you. So, di ba, there sometimes when somebody, challenges me, I say, you know, don't mess around with me because I've been to hell and back. Di ba may ganon? I always say that, you know. Parang come on, that's chicken feed. I've been through quite a bit in my life. So you need those experiences to make you strong. Can you imagine someone na hindi man lang nakadanas ng paghihirap? Wala, empty. Yan yung may mga disorders of emptiness na madalas na pagkakamala na depression. Higher it's higher in the hierarchy of development ang depression. Pagka you are lower than that, you have no capability to feel depressed or to feel sad. The loss of something. You have to experience those things. You cannot just be in this life na wala ka man lang challenges, realizations, you have been wounded. Those are all contributory to your achieving a higher status of yourself, right? So tingnan mo yung mga spoiled brats, yung mga masyadong privileged, no? They have not experienced anything, nothing much. Wala silang masyadong substance, right? they
There
don't
must be
know
something.
anything much.
I think parang makikita mo yan with the, somehow there'll be always a void in you na parang you need to fill because um yeah, I mean it you know they
No,
haven't
there is
experienced.
they have no capacity to empathize with someone because they've never been through that, right? So if you have experienced, for example, uh, loss, you can empathize with someone who has lost something, right? Pero kung yung someone who's never had nor never even cared about anyone or about those matters, wala, they'll just, ganun ba?
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
Pakialam ko dyan.
Yeah.
Ganun. But if you have experienced the pain of losing someone, you know exactly how that other person feels, although not to the uh, finer fibers of it. So you don't say something like I know how you feel. You can never really know, but you can approximate how that someone must be feeling, right? So there are things that people say kasi na sasabihin lang pero it doesn't really touch you. Kasi parang they really don't know what they're talking about. So wag ka na lang magsalita. Mas maganda pa
Yeah,
yung
magandang pag-usapan yan
quiet
kasi
understanding,
kasi
di ba?
I think, everybody naman experiences loss. So, I think sometimes yung etiquette sometimes with condolences should be like for example with that, right? What do you really say for what well, in your opinion, what do you really say to somebody who has lost a parent or a child? You really don't want to over express your grief to them or your apologies or making them feel that I know how you feel. Yung na nga yung sabi mo na parang, you tap them on the shoulders and say, oh, napagdaanan ko din yan, or I know exactly how you feel. But when somebody's going through mourning, you really don't know what to say. You have to be,
You really don't know what to say, so it's better not to say anything. Sometimes not saying anything is more palpable, you know, because the other would be able to sense or hear what you're saying without you saying anything. Diba? Parang, ganun yun eh. Di ba, puros na lang halimbawa, if you, kasi siyempre, kadidiscover ko lang yung mga Facebook na yan. Pag may
oo nga.
nag-announce ng namamatay, hala, puros RIP, RIP, RIP. Baka hindi na nila alam kung ano yung RIP.
Yeah.
Parang kung ako yun, parang ayaw ko nang basahin.
It's a different world nga Dr. Agnes, because through my experience with that is that I didn't want to make an announcement of the death of my father. Kasi I felt I cannot encapsulate the mourning or how I felt with the loss. And I felt if I put a status update, an announcement of the death of my father, parang mapapaliit yung the gravity or the how the world is really of what my father meant to me. And I could not put it on my dad, my father, wala, hindi ko masulat. So nag-retract ako. And I didn't want condolences, people to be obligated to give me condolences, because sometimes it's, you're it's like gathering likes as well. Parang I didn't need that to know how much people felt sorry for me or felt, what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Yun ang approach ko na lang.
Actually, you know what? Diyan ako inaway ng mga kapatid ko. Kasi when Papa died, ang sabi ko sa kanila, bakit parang ginagawa yung parang fiesta? Di ba pwedeng tayo-tayo na lang? Or, kaya ang ginagawa ko noon, kasi sila siyempre ang panalo, kasi mas marami sila, ako lang nag-iisa. Ang ginagawa ko noon, pupunta ako doon sa ginawa nilang wake na, wow, parang fiesta talaga. Dami kasi nilang mga kaibigan. Ako, hindi ko sinabi, hindi ko in-announce. So pupunta ako doon, midnight, ako lang mag-isa, halos na doon. Yun, yung ganung flavor, and you know what I'm talking about because you just mentioned to me what it was for me also. See? So kung sunod ka lang ng sunod kasi sa karamihan ng tao, sometimes it's already irrelevant. And that's what I meant before when I told you na parang weird na ang dating ko kasi syempre karamihan ng tao, ganun ang ginagawa. Ako ayaw ko talaga makisama sa mga, alam ko na yung word na inaano ko, kahunghangan.
Yeah.
Diba?
Well,
We were
tell
groping for
me,
the right word for it.
yeah, tell me what it is. Kasi for me, kasi yun na nga din Kasi somehow our culture is, kunyari kapag merong wake, it becomes a little bit of a pageantry. Di ba? Parang,
Oh my God! Kaya sabi ko, oh my God, I don't want that done to me when I'm dead. Bubukas ko
yeah.
talaga yung mata ko. Kung titingnan mo ko, bubukas ko yung mata ko. Sasabihin ko, ba't ka tumitingin? O kaya, ba't ang dami mong bulaklak ngayon na binibigay sa akin? Nung buhay ako, maski isang sampagita, hindi ka nagbibigay. You know, it's such an insane world, you know? It's so depressing sometimes. Kasi wala kang kakampi
Kasi,
ganun yung mga
napasa
test
kasi yan
mo.
din, di ba? Napasa yan na ganito dapat. Yung nga iba, I mean down in the street there, obviously kung hindi makapag-wake in a proper uh, anong tawag doon, funeral service, you actually bring it to the street, to your barangay, no? You actually have bingo. You actually have kainan.
Fiesta nga,
Oo
fiesta.
nga. So, in a way,
Hindi ako
whether miski nasa street ka o nasa funeral service ka, nandun pa rin yung kainan, or maybe because life goes on and it's a celebration, I don't know.
Ako rin, I don't know. I don't know why. Baka mga sociologist makakapagsagot niyan. Pero I find that very hard to understand sometimes. Why don't they just leave the one who's grieving to herself or himself? You know, bakit ginagawang fiesta? Hindi ako
Yeah,
makasabay dun eh.
I understand. I
Maski
understand that.
anong gawin ko, that's why I don't go to wakes.
In
Maski
fact,
na,
oh, I saw. I want to share this with you. The documentary that I saw about embalming yung old style. Ha, this is. I think this documentary was set in Ireland or in the UK, some part there, and there's a movement of going back to our roots on how we bury our beloved, no? And nung unang time yata, I think, I don't know if it's ancient time or whatever, but this funeral service provides a embalming with oil with the loved one by the people who have been left, meaning the family, immediate family will embalm the body of the departed, and it's hindi yung announcement to friends and friends or alumni group, but more on the family coming together of silence and being, you know parang susunugin pa, parang babalot nila tapos they'll set it ashore, or maybe, yeah,
that was kasi in the old days, di ba?
oo,
Oo, in the
mas
old days, parang
family and mas solemn.
rituals kasi help you get over something. So you ritualize it. Kasi mahirap tanggapin agad-agad. So it gives you time. You, 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 you bid for a little time because it's hard to accept it right away.
I think the
So you
documentary kasi we're saying na parang napaka business like, 'di ba? Pagka once you die, there's a funeral, there's two guys, you know, who have no connection with you at all, take the body of your beloved, and then hindi mo alam, you don't know where they're gonna go, if they're gonna break the bones. So parang what I'm saying? There's no the family has been taken away from that, from the one who's departing. So all of a sudden, what you see in the wake, in the funeral, is already a product of the service. 'Di ba? Wala ka dun mismo sa ritual nga na pag-alaga ng, pagpunas ng iyong namao o namatay. Oo, 'di ba?
oh, no, ganun noong unang-unang panahon.
I prefer, I kind of like that you see
Oo.
they
Eh,
don't
paano
even.
naman kung wala ka nang natirang loved one? Oh, di ba? Yung mga
Oo.
cats,
Nandiyan
they
naman si
just,
Lovely eh.
they just, sinong si Lovely?
Si Lovely.
Si Lovely.
Oo. I mean, kung nawala ka, meron ka laging friend or or family
Ah,
member. Oo,
oh
saying.
yeah. Kasi alam mo yung mga cats, kung mahal ka nila, pag malapit na silang mamatay, they disappear. They go somewhere else. They don't want to see you. They don't want to die na makikita mo sila kasi ayaw ka nilang bigyan ng sama ng loob. So
Is that
pagka
right?
nawawala na yung cat ko, parang alam ko na hindi na babalik. Kasi pumunta na siya doon sa kung saan at doon na siya mamamatay. Hindi
I
na
had
niya ako
no I didn't.
iistorbohin. So parang highest self yon, no? I mean, ang galing, di ba? And then we look down on them. Kala mo, ang humans mas mataas sa kanila. Pero, there are so many things that we still don't know, right? Hindi pa rin ma-explain eh. Isn't it?
That's so
Isn't that
interesting. I didn't
fantastic?
even know that about cats.
Oh, because I've had cats na, mga ano lang to, parang rescue cats na kinaawaan ko, so pinakain ko, naging cats ko na sila, parang ganon.
I also heard that cats actually choose you.
Yes, parang ganon eh. Na kung minsan, wala naman akong plano magka-cat. Eh.
Yeah.
Pumupunta na lang dito sa akin. So, nagiging cat ko na sila. They know that they come here to eat. You know, sometimes they loiter around and then aalis na, ganun. Pero may iba naman na dito na talaga, hindi na umalis. So, ganun. So, I've observed that eh. Pagka hindi na umuwi dito ng mga a few days, sabihin ko, wala na siguro si Nini. Yung ganun.
Baka nakahanap ng love.
Pwede na rin. Basta hindi na bumabalik kasi. And I have that feeling na lumayo na, nagpakalayo-layo na kasi, you know, mawawala na siya. Parang ganun eh. Napipil ko, nasa-sense ko. So, parang yung mga ganyan, yung mga, some call it extrasensory perception, you know? Yung mga merong kang, you have some kind of an open door to something na hindi pa na-explain ng science.
Could it be these are vibrations?
Well, everybody, as they say, has extrasensory perception. You just have to hone it, you know. But it's not an accident na parati na lang akong ganun eh. So I must have some kind of sense about these matters. Na hindi ko naman sinasadya. One time I would be driving and then biglang maisip ko yung isa kong dating pasyente na matagal na biglang pupunta sa mind ko. Tapos pagdating ko sa clinic, sasabihin ng sekretary ko, Doktora, nagpa-appointment si Mr. So-and-so. Sabi ko, naisip ko siya kanina. So, yung mga ganon, you cannot just explain it through something like scientific. Right? Yung mga ganon. So,
that's very interesting. In fact, when you think of somebody, the all your senses, with how you felt, or you know, the smell, the feeling. I think it's more on the feeling kasi yung how that person made you feel eh. Di ba? Tama ba?
I feel like you have to have it in you to be able to somehow hear, feel something out of the blue. Out of the blue.
Wow.
So ano yun? Can you explain that? Mahirap i-explain yun.
Serendipity?
Serendipity.
Diba?
Tawag nila kung saan serendipity. Hindi mo naman hinahanap, bigla nandyan. Yun yung serendipity.
Okay,
pero
okay.
Yung extrasensory perception, para kang merong some kind of a talent or skill na nasa-sense mo. Nasa-sense mo something, you know?
Tapos you can actually summon that person to appear.
You know, you can even dream together, you know. It's possible to dream together. You meet each other in a dream. And that needs some kind of skill and training. Parang sorcerer ka na talaga noon. See? So napakataas na ano yun, achievement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So
Wow.
until now, I'm still looking for a real sorcerer.
Baka you're meeting that your higher self na ikaw nga, di ba nga, shaman.
Ako na pala yun.
Yeah.
At so sasabihin na talaga ng ibang tao, oh my God, she's gone insane.
No. Well, people always say that, the greatest love of all is finding is yourself. So I guess when you fully understood, yourself, you've psychoanalyzed yourself, and you've begun to, you begin to love yourself the way you are. It's almost, it must be peaceful there, diba? Because you understand everything.
Right.
So what are the steps? Gawin natin ng structure. Ano ba ang ano what are the signs that we need
Yun ang
to
first and foremost. You really have to know yourself first. Kasi yung iba parang ginagawa ng palabas or business yung mga clairvoyance, yung makaka-communicate to the one who has passed away. Parang sa tingin ko, ano na lang yun eh. You know, it's not real. Magaling
cinematic
lang
na
mang
yun,
bola.
cinematic.
Yung sasabihin, okay, ano ako, I can communicate with the dead. Yung ganun. I, I, I don't know. I'm not into that. Ang
Yeah.
ano ko kasi is, there's got to be a reason why you're alive and you're here, right? So if you're here, alive on this life, there's got to be something you need to do or accomplish or achieve. You know, I always say na autonomy cannot be given to you. You have to achieve it, you know. There are things that cannot be given to you. You yourself have to achieve it yourself. So walang pwede magbigay sa iyo niyan but yourself. See? So for someone who has been wounded and has been able to, experience that, the pains of it, and able to recover from it and move on to the higher level, you don't regurgitate on something. You pass over it, You so pataas ng pataas yon. So if you want to structure it, first of all, you have to know yourself first. Hindi ka pwedeng go to a higher level if you don't know yourself.
Knowing thyself is acceptance.
Or you do some corrective procedures about yourself so that you become a better self, right? Hindi shitty, hindi yung parang parati ka na lang, na namumroblema, parati kang, as I was saying last time, you're always conflicted with yourself. Gagawin ko ba to? Ay, wag na lang. Ay, sige na nga. Ay, wag na kasi ganyan. Yung purong sulong. So, static ka, hindi ka makaabante kasi if you're tied back or sideways or you can't move forward. See? So, to me, before you die, you have to relinquish or disattach yourself to anything in this world. That's why developmental lahat yan to me, no? So that's why I kidded you and said, I'm a material girl. So syempre, you will want the material to be material because you're material. Hindi ka pa naman multo. Hindi ka pa naman, nobody really knows that. What I believe in is pupusta na lang ako doon sa maganda kang tao, you are sensitive, sensible. Achievements lahat yun hindi pwedeng ibigay yun sa'yo. Yeah. So by the time you reach my age, siguro medyo, wala na masyadong kahulugan yung mga material things. Although I still enjoy putting on my lipstick, kasi nandito pa naman ako sa mundong to. Yeah. Hindi pa naman ako multo.
Yeah.
Di ba? So, every step along the way, you have to climb up the ladder, towards what you say as your higher self. And your highest self is, disattaching from this world and move on to another thing which none of us knows, actually. So, to play safe, ang parati kong sinasabi, magpakabuting tao ka na lang. Kasi, to me, mas sigurado yon na doon ka pupusta kasi magpakahunghang-hunghang ka and, do all kinds of things. Baka hindi ka mamatay. You don't die in a better stead, no? Parang ganun ako parang ganun. I'm at that stage now na parang kahunghangan na lang halos lahat. Parang there's no point to it, right?
I wonder what your take. I don't know if you're able to answer this or not. But what's your take on? There's something sometimes at the end of our lives we suffer because of we've been plagued with the disease or something, and this is something that we carry at the end of our life. And some people just pass on peacefully. Ano kaya yon? Are we just humans? Are just trying to?
I think
are people just trying to make things to make sense of these things, or because of not understanding it, people have studied it with different things. Anong take mo doon?
You know what? You know, when I say you pray for it, it's something you have to implore a higher being. Kasi hindi na maabot ng pagka-human mo. No? Like, when you die, there's no way you know how to go except if you commit suicide. You know, and some would say, well, I'll just go to Switzerland and be assisted to die. Parang ganon, no? So you still have those choices actually. But to me, mahirap puntahan yung mga ganun eh kasi hindi ka sigurado. I've seen so many na nag-attempt to kill themselves. Hindi naman matuloy-tuloy.
Ano,
Hindi
parang euthanasia?
natutuloy.
Like euthanasia?
Iba yung euthanasia, iba yung suicide, no?
Ah, okay, okay.
So, when someone who's attempted suicide gets referred to me, hindi naman natuloy. Hindi mo kontrolado yun eh. So, mas mahirap na ang buhay mo kasi hindi ka na makalunok,
Oh
hindi ka
my
na
goodness.
makalakad.
Oh my
It
God.
becomes more messy, right? So,
Oh.
wag ka na doon. Don't take it into your own hands. So, when I say, you pray na lang that you're not going to die in a gruesome way. Kasi that's the only thing you can do as a human being. There's no way you can know unless you take it in your own hands. Two things, suicide or euthanasia. You know, if you go to Switzerland, pina-research ko yan sa estudyante ko kasi there was a time na nagkaroon ako ng sakit na sabi ko, I don't want to die this way. So, pina-research ko sa estudyante ko. Switzerland lang nagtatanggap ng foreigners.
Oh,
So
I
you have to
see.
have at least, you have to have a lot of money to go there.
I made a little
Kasi
bit of
one-way ticket na lang yun eh. Ang
yeah.
ganda kasing mamatay ng gano'n. Iinom ka lang ng liquid na clear na liquid. And in a little while, wala, tapos ka na. See, you die peacefully. So, I think that's a situation you cannot put into your own hands. Nang ganun na lamang.
The way I understand kasi yung parang euthanasia is that it's really nagano din ako diyan research no, just to know that so at least I have some knowledge about it. Yung sinasabi nila is, you know, this is dignity of death, no? They, di ba, yung parang choice mo yun eh. So you don't, you want to keep your dignity as you pass on to the next. That's why ikaw yung magko-control, hindi yung disease taking over you.
Yes, yes.
And I understand that completely.
Oh, it's very easy to understand that. But the temerity to go through it, you need to really, really know what you're doing. Your mind should be with the utmost clarity. Hindi ka depressed, hindi ka suicidal, hindi ka nagtatampo dito, It's really clear in your mind that you want to go. Parang ganon, di ba?
Oh.
Maganda.
Would you,
Maganda sana.
are you able to, I mean, have you experienced that where you have to psychoanalyze somebody who is planning to go, you know?
No, I haven't had the experience of being in therapy with someone who wants it that way. A lot lang sinasabi pag may sakit, syempre they refer to me mga near death. Wala ka ring wala ka na ring magagawa. You just
Hindi mo pwedeng
facilitate.
sabihin yan.
Ha?
Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na wala ka na magagawa.
Hindi. Hindi.
Yeah.
You just, it's the saddest job I've had to do is to keep going to someone who I know is going to die any time. Very difficult for me. There's nothing you can do anymore, meaning you just go there and say hello and goodbye. Parang ganon.
Like,
Used to have a
I'm
fish.
interested there. Let's explore that a little bit with the time that we have. Uh, like for example, if I'm not a psychoanalyst, I'm not in psychiatry, but if kung naatasan ako, if somebody just asked me a favor, and you know, in hypothetically, if somebody asked me, can you talk? No, it has to be somebody that I'm related with. Related with. So, kunyari, a relative is passing on, and then deathbed na nung relative. Kasi yun lang naman yung probability na mangyayari. Kailangan related ka bago ka matawagan doon. O sige, kausapin mo na kunyari yung lola mo. Huling ano na to, this is her last, hour, ganyan. Of course, we differ from each other, no? But uh, you also have to take into consideration how lucid that person is in the deathbed. For example, kasi sometimes in their deathbed, meron silang yung pinipindot. They have this thing na, okay, may pain, and then they push this so mawawala yung pain nila.
Oo.
Diba? So you don't know the state of mind of the person who's passing on. And I even wonder if they're still there 100%.
No, they're not there 100% kasi na-douse na ng morphine, painkillers and all. Yung mga kung ano na ng cocktails and all.
Yun na nga eh.
So
So,
wala. Mahirap.
diba? How do you deal with, I guess the best way is to just be there and be happy if you are recognized. Diba? Kasi daw
Hindi, mahirap talaga. You cannot be happy. Neither can you be sad. So it's some kind of work din yung going towards death, no? Hindi naman unless you die violently or accidentally, you meet an accident. Iba 'yon. Iba naman yung you go through stages, and then at first you cannot accept it, at first you deny. Yung mga ganon, stages of dying. So I've experienced that a lot at MD Anderson. Sa una pa lang, sasabihin ng pasyente sa akin, kasi alam na niya sigurong psychiatrist ako, go away. Sasabihin niya, napaka-rude pa nila and all. So I keep going. Kung minsan, one day, bigla na lang akong sasabihan, come in, doctor. Para akong mahihimatay eh. Kasi bigla ako naman na magugulat ngayon. So alam ko na nandun na siya, papalapit na sa acceptance. Ganon. So it was a very painful, sad experience for me, but I kept doing it kasi I wanted to know also how it is to die. Masyado akong curious na.
Well, to tell you my experience with it when I saw when I saw my father in the ICU before he passed on. I mean, I just really saw a vessel. I saw a vessel, a carrier of his soul. It's really a cadaver, I mean, that the soul, or it's only the vessel that he used here on earth, but he goes somewhere else. I don't know. But yung logical sa akin was how I saw it. You cannot cry for somebody yung dun sa body, the physical body it's just there's nobody there. Di ba? Ako yung ganun ako. Kasi sabi ko, kasi I saw my mom crying over the physical body. I said, oh, but he's not there. Parang biblical din yan. Kasi in a way, di ba kasi sa the Bible, and when they put him on the cave or something, and then somebody said, what are you looking for? He's not here. He has risen. So in a way, I know that this is just particles of the universe, and what's logical for me is that will be dispersed everywhere, and then we can be part of the sky or the universe of what makes the earth or the galaxy. Kaya sabi nila, maganda na yung
Yun nga ang limitation natin na humans. Eh. Nobody has really been there.
you've never studied a person who has gone, like maybe gone for a few, I know, I don't know how long, seconds or
Oh,
minutes, and then come
well,
back to life.
there's a debate towards that. Ang sabi ng iba, it's your brain, losing some oxygen and all that. That's why it's like some kind of hallucinatory experience.
Oh, that's
Some naman,
that's
they
logical.
believe that that's probably not that way. So, it's a debate there. There's a debate there. So, bahala ka kung anong gusto mong paniwalaan, di ba?
Eh, yun na nga din
Bahala
eh,
ka.
kasi I think the biggest takeaway here is not really, I mean, so nobody has the answer, and we've got one life to live. As I mean, as what's given here now. So
Kaya nga the correct definition of faith is believing in something you do not really know. Yan yun.
yes.
Oh, so i-elevate mo sa ganon kasi hindi mo na kayang intindihin as a human being. You know, wala pa nobody really knows, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the human mind does those things in order to be able to live with it. That reality that you're going to go. But nobody knows, right? No
Mm-mm-mm.
one,
Yeah.
not one in this world really knows that for
Yeah.
sure, right? So when you're alive, just live while you're alive. Come on, because you have a lot of time to rest or whatever you may be. When you die, eh, hindi mo na alam din yun eh. Di ba? Meron na ba? Meron na bang may alam nun?
Kaya nga eh.
Wala.
Oo.
Okay? So ako, that's why I say I'm a material girl. Kasi hindi pa naman ako patay. I'm not yet dead, dude. You will still, I will still be here until I drop dead.
Yeah,
And when
yeah.
I'm gone, who cares, right? Who
Ah,
cares? You don't know that. Whatever happens after that, no one knows that. So ako, while you're alive, you have to experience all the pleasures, the bliss, the material things, everything, the plants, the flowers, because you're still alive. So if you're alive, come on, live it, diba?
yeah, that's nice. I love that. Well, my dog seems to agree with you. He keeps on barking there on the side. Para siya nag-hallelujah dun sa habang nagpi-preach ka. But it is part of the joy of, I think, being alive is also, I think, as we have discussed within the hour, that you may be able to achieve or meet your higher self, and as you grow older, you also, the distance between you and your higher self gets smaller. No,
Mm-hmm.
if we are aware of where our not most people think of the destination, no, but I think that process is really more wonderful to understand, that each day will bring us closer to that higher self. It's a cumulative, eh? That's And if we are aware of this, uh, I don't see, you will have a better understanding whenever whenever you meet obstacles and hurdles, then you'll see your perspective is wider. No, that's very
Oh,
important.
yes, that is why. Come on, live it. Yung sabi mo, it is because they lived.
Yeah.
You, you,
Oo nga,
hindi
hindi siya
pwedeng,
kailangan happily ever after. It is because we
I like
lived,
what you said.
period. Oo.
Maganda nga yung sinabi mo na yan eh.
Oo, naano ko
Yun
lang
ang
yan sa
parang
pelikula
ano
sa.
ko eh. Yun ang parang belief system ko. Is while you're alive, you have to live it. Live.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
warts and all. You know,
Oo nga.
ang mahirap kasi sa ibang tao, they claim to be better than you are. They are good persons, etc. Eh, pagtingin mo closely, hindi naman, hindi, hindi naman
No,
sila
they
ganon.
just say that so that they'll feel better about themselves. Ano lang yan, defense lang yan, di ba?
Oo nga,
No.
pero wag mo
I think
namang,
when I started to care less about, I mean, I think I like nga that I joined this journey with you because the more I get to meet you once a week, I feel like napapasa din sa akin yung in a way what you believe in because you met your higher self and there's some things that don't bother you and there's some things that bother you. I sort of like get to know you in that manner. But I think the biggest lesson here is that well she's doing it. Why can't I, right? I mean, I gone are the days when I'm too conscious to even open my mind or too scared to make mistakes. I feel like every day you're given a chance to recreate something, and when we're able to understand that we're able to correct ourselves because of the mistakes that we did, we feel better. You feel less conscious. You feel like this is part of it. I like that we're nakikisabay ako sa iyong enlightenment. So thank you, Dr. Agnes Bueno. I think we had a good episode. We were discussing, of course, meeting the higher self, but in a way, nag-segue din siya ng death, no? Because well, in the end, that's where all we're gonna be.
mm-hmm.
And then following the structures and being aware of how you travel and journey through life, so that I hope we gave you some sort of like a ping moment wherever you are, and thank you, Professor of Psychiatry, Dr. Agnes Bueno, for providing entertainment and enlightenment to this episode. Diva? And thank you again for our executive producer, Lovely.
Thank you daw, lovely.
Oo, oo, meron ka na I know that Lovely's manning everything this production side where Dr. Agnes is, this is so, we're down to like really grit our own, we create our own production. I have my background. Dr. Agnes has just discovered Wi-Fi. No, she knew about Wi-Fi a long time ago, but she installed Wi-Fi just during this COVID times, and now she's understanding more to understand how to connect to an audience, and slowly, I'm seeing if I look at the analytics, if there are, sometimes we have about 400 views, 180 views. That's for me. It generates interest to the topic. And I hope that we have been providing with you some sort of lightness and entertainment as well, because both of us really don't take ourselves seriously in terms of making mistakes. But of course, with Dr. Agnes Bueno, she has 40 years of experience in psychiatry. So that's a great combination, right?
Right. You're talking to a very old woman.
Hindi, ang pangalan mo pala ngayon is Poca.
Ngayon, hindi, Lolita. Gusto ko pa rin sa bandang ganun.
Oh, sige, Lolita. Okay.
Kasi
Run, Lolita, run.
Oo, run, Lolita, run.
No, hey, actually, our favorite actress from the old Hollywood, Sophia Loren, has a new show on Netflix, and I think her son is the director or the writer of
Oh,
this Netflix film. And I think you should watch it because, and for you guys, for just an information, uh, I think the title is La Vita, something about life, the life ahead. The life ahead is the title. And once in a while, a story like this is very compelling because it fits her character. You know, I think she's more than she's 80 years old.
She's 80 plus.
Oh, 80 plus na, no? I mean,
Oo.
but yung character niya kasi, ang ganda kasi, not without giving too much of the story, she plays in this little town of in Italy, she plays an old prostitute, no? And
Mm.
she has in her later years parang naging yung bahay niya naging parang you know if her colleagues or friends have children, iniiwan yung mga bata dun sa bahay niya, no?
Mm.
Parang she became like a mat, taking care of these people. And then she met somebody from oh my god, I can't believe this. Either he's from Zimbabwe or Ghana. This little wonderful, wonderful boy, also a wonderful actor. And then it challenges her. The
Mm.
relationship between him, because she didn't want him. So the challenge for her to accept him, to stay in her house, is so gripping. It's a simple story about relationship with with a young boy and an older woman. That's so moving as well because parang apo niya na yon eh.
Mm.
Or somebody that she had adopted. I mean, but it was so she detested him because nagnanakaw siya. All that thing. But
Mm.
the way they evolved with the relationship through time became so gripping and loving that I recommend The Life Ahead. If you have Netflix, you have to see it. We come from a time na I'm also that I had this experience of meeting a lot of Hollywood greats, not personally, obviously. Sa
Mm.
mga movies na mga pinapanood natin, di ba? We
Yeah.
admire, ito yung mga kinalakihan natin eh. So
Uh-huh.
somehow as kids, we used to look at them and, oh, someday that's how I'm gonna act.
Yes, I
And,
remember. I remember yung movie na Sunflower. Si Sofia
oh,
Loren din
iyak
yun eh.
ako ng iyak doon.
Oo, my gosh. That's until now, parang isa pa rin yan sa mga gustong-gusto kong ano.
So can you imagine, for a child to see Sunflower with that music? Remember the music?
Mm.
Oh, di ba?
Yes, I do.
Oh, di
Ano na
ba?
nga ba? Ta-ra-ra-ra. Basta, maganda
Yeah,
rin yung,
yeah,
yung music.
yeah, you're there. Da 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 da. Eh, wala. Baka mali.
Da-ra-ra-ra. Da-ra-ra-ra.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, di
Mhm.
ba? Pero yung train station, batang-bata pa tayo, pero yung naghiwalay sila yata sa train station.
Heart-wrenching,
Oo.
no? Nako. Yeah, I think that's the first time I cried in a movie.
Nabiyak yung puso ko nung bata-bata ko. So, imagine, after so
Oh.
many years, I really recommend this film because I think the son was able to find a role for Sophia, and that's perfect for her at this stage of her life. Ang ganda. Oo, ang ganda. In The Life Ahead in Netflix. Sorry, naging ano na to, naging promo doon. Pero that's part of it, no? I feel like I don't know her personally, but I'm sure she has lived this long because she has met her higher self. No, she's
Mm-hmm.
accepted it. You can see. I mean, whatever she has done in the past or the experiences, she's parang parang contentment and happiness shows in her face, right? So
Yeah.
yan ang achieve ko whenever we meet every week para tong fellowship. Parang fellowship and intimate conversations namin with Dr. Wow. Thank you again, Dr. Agnes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
another week we'll be launching this on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hang in there.